कृतिं स्मरेतेन विघ्नप्रणश्यन्ति सिद्धन्ति च मनोरथः लक्ष्मीं तनोतु नितरामितरानपेक्षमङ्गलिद्वयं निगमशाकिशिखाप्रवालं हैरम्बमम्बुरुहडम्बरचौर्यनिग्रहं विघ्नाद्रिभेदशतधारधुरन्धरन्नः सर्वेषां स्वागतम्. This is the Saṃskāra session for the 38th shloka. So we learnt about the nature of Brahman, Vikalpa Maya Rahite Chidatmake. No, when we talk about all these concepts, we talk about the Atma, the Brahman, and then the Adhyasa, Maya. A lot of these things, it is difficult to understand what these shlokas are trying to tell us without understanding the concepts involved. So, for that, we need to understand the concepts as dictated uh, through that particular Vedanta. That is, we are talking about Advaita Vedanta, Advaita philosophy. So, as per that, what are these Vadas? What are these terminologies? How they have come to be? Those things we will try to understand in the next two, three um, Saṃskāra sessions. Here, the first important uh, part of Advaita philosophy is the Mayavada, which has already been explained, but a little more towards the creation we will try to understand. So, what is this Maya? So, Maya is one such element. It is a uh, it is what creates the world, or what creates the perception of the world. So, frankly speaking, then we have the Brahman, we have the eternal consciousness. That eternal consciousness, ultimate reality, the ultimate state of Brahman, it gets it gets into certain some manipulations happen over there due to Chaitanya, that is due to energy manipulations, and those energy manipulations lead to different byproducts. That byproducts, it we've already seen as per Sankhya also, that there is immediate birth of buddhi and etc etc, but we are not considering all that. No, what we are considering is that byproducts of that byproducts, one such byproduct leads to a cover. It leads to a shield that covers the Brahman itself. And gave the example of coal in the previous one of the things. So it is just like that. So when there is urja, when there is energy, that is, if we take the Brahman as only the coal, then it has the potential to burn, but it doesn't have the energy. The energy has to be introduced. When the energy is introduced, then what happens? It starts to change the matter, starts to change the Mula Prakriti, changes into something different. There is a byproduct of that process of that manipulation. There is a change. There is a change in the type of matter. The Mula Prakriti doesn't get changed. That due to that merger, due to that reaction, there is something that is coming out of it. So that is the reason when we separate it, we have the primordial matter, and then we have the manifested matter. We have the manipulations, we are considering it, and that has come out. But the nature of matter, primordial matter, is not changing in this. So in this whole process, what happens? It leads to a certain uh, byproduct that starts to engulf the Brahman. That Brahman, it is true Prakasha, Satya Prakasha. It is. It starts to engulf that particular uh, true nature of the Brahman, with its avaraka shakti. Avaraka shakti, like when we look at the smoke, when we start to do yajna or havan or any such thing, we see that there is an avaraka shakti for air. That some the byproduct of that. Before that, air is there everywhere. It actually engulfs the whole earth. Atmosphere is very much there. It is one of the spheres. But what happens, this yajna, when we do, the resultant, what is coming out of it, that is the smoke. That smoke is now is of different nature as in it has some akara, different akara. In that sense, what happens, it starts to mix with whatever is there and it starts to spread. It has the nature of air, which is, it can vyapti, sarva vyapti is there, but apart from that, it has a different akara also. Therefore, it starts to spread with that akara color. So then we see that there is a grayish cover over there. Now, because of the change in nature, what is happening, my view is getting restricted. In the same way, what happens, all these elements are already present within Brahman only. But this byproduct of this manipulation of matter due to energy has resulted in one more addition, that is the akara, that has led to covering towards that particular Brahman. So this has led to us not understanding the true nature of Brahman. So we are actually in a part of Brahman, we're getting enveloped by that particular Avaraka Shakti of Maya, which is stopping us from realizing our true nature of existence. That is the understanding. So then that particular Avaraka Shakti is what is called as Maya. So this Maya, it is a cosmic illusion. We are seeing it in a way that we are able to, like, for example, if I bring it into a certain akara, if I bring it into certain form, what happens? There are limitations that will be placed on uh, my ability to perceive and receive things. Because obviously, only the first thing that I said was in creation, when we are deciding what are the kind of information we can take in, we are also deciding what are the receptors for it. So, despite the fact that it is my brain which is able to process all these kinds of information, I cannot see with my ears. I have to have eyes to see. In the same way, I need to have ears to hear. So therefore, there is a limitation that is being placed whenever we are putting it into a certain frame, that we are limiting our ability to process that information. So if we consider the whole universe as pure information, then organizing it or putting it into a certain syntax is limiting the kind of information we can put into that particular format. Therefore, whatever is there in that format, I am able to understand. Whatever that is not in that format, I am not able to understand. I have to first convert it into that format, which is easier for me to read. This is as per data. So, in the same way, if we consider Brahman as pure consciousness, then that Avaraka Shakti, that Maya that is being a byproduct that is creating this uh, cover on that pure consciousness is limiting my ability to understand or perceive or realize that pure consciousness. That is creating something called avidya. So this Maya, it is very special in nature because it creates this illusion. It creates the illusion that there is something else, that is there is plurality. That is the form. That akara is getting created by that. Now, when I say pure consciousness, I cannot put any limitations to it. The vyapti I cannot decide. Is it only in my mind? Is it everywhere? Like for example, air. I cannot put it into a form. But when I add some like water also, it is formless. But when I put it into a certain container, I am limiting it. In the same way, Maya is giving that particular avaraka shakti it has, where it is enveloping, covering the pure consciousness, and it is giving a nature that the pure conscious is in certain form. It is Nirakara. Brahman is Nirakara, but that Maya Shakti, because of its structure, because of its nature to cover it in a way, it is giving, it is bringing out certain akara to it, saying that it can be in this form. And therefore, there is a form of plurality. Because once forms come, then we can differentiate it. If it is pure Brahman, Nirakara Brahman, I cannot differentiate it. This is helping Maya. This illusionary nature, it doesn't truly exist. It doesn't truly exist. The akara is not the akara of that particular tattva. That is, water, if I pour it into a container, the akara is not of the water. It is of the container. But it shows that that water is in that particular shape. This is the misconception that it is giving. This misconception is what is leading to avidya, is leading to uh, ignorance. Again, when we talk about avidya also doesn't initiate, it is anadi. It already exists. When the question arises, if only Maya is the result of avidya, then shouldn't, if Maya isn't there, will avidya not be there? No, avidya is ignorance as completely. Even if there is no avaraka shakti separating the individual consciousness from the cosmic consciousness, the fact that individual consciousness has to reconcile or realize the cosmic consciousness, without doing that it will not be a part of it, itself shows that avidya is anadi. There is no need for it to take life or take birth. It already exists. The nature itself is like that. So Maya here, we are not, it is a very vast subject. So it is illusionary in nature and it is multifaceted. Multifaceted as in it has multiple aspects. One such aspect is only our avidya. The second one, it is Advaita and Dvaita, the way it progresses. So, first it starts with Maya. Maya gives rise to Avidya. Avidya further leads to Ahankara. Ahankara leads further to Samsara. So, Avidya, then Maya, then comes Avidya, then comes Ahankara, and then comes Samsara. So, Ahankara is individualized process, Samsara is complete plurality. So, this is how the evolution is progressing. So it can be dynamic and it can be creative. It is not that, because when we are saying plurality, it can be seen as anything that we crave to see. So it is a creative force, Maya is. And in this, there are different types of Maya also. There is Mula Maya, Vikshepa Maya, and Avarana Maya. So immediately it doesn't start, that itself is not Maya. The, The power that covers it is itself is not Maya. It is much more than that. So the primary Maya is the initial reaction that results. Initial manipulation of matter due to energy when it happens, something that arises, that is Mula Maya. Now, this has the power to blind Brahman, or, bring a difference between Brahman. Then we have Vikshepa Maya that creates doubts and misconceptions about reality. The Mula Maya is able to cover the Brahman. Vikshepa Maya can give different projections of Brahman. Avarana Maya, it conceals the true nature of reality. That means it conceals the true nature of Brahman. So there are different grades of Maya. Initially, it just covers. Then it is able to project Vikshepa. It is able to show uh, Brahman in different forms. And then Avarana Maya, it has purely has the notion of um, showing a falsehood uh, character of Brahman. That Brahman can do something, Brahman is like this, Brahman is like that, like that. So the effects of this Maya is avidya, dvaita, and it is dukkha. This is only as per Advaita philosophy. There are different contradictions to this as well. But since we are studying this text only as per Advaita, I am going as per Advaita. Maybe we can take up Dvaita text after this to understand what Dvaita meaning also is trying to give. But strictly speaking, from Advaita point of view, Maya is resulting into this form of avidya, which is again giving rise to different projections, and that projections is leading to plurality or the duality, and then we are and that is where the dukkha comes from. Why we are suffering uh, dukkha, why we suffer is primarily because of that, because we are living in a projected projection, much more complicated than that. It is not even a dream. It is a dream inside a dream inside a dream, like that kind of a situation. So we are getting affected by that because we are allowing it. We are not able to understand that all this is a simulation, like that. It goes on. So Maya in itself is like that. So understanding Maya is it's a very big the Maya Vada is a very big thing, and we have to look at a few more elements of Advaita Vedanta also to get clarity on all these things. So today, just the Maya, how Maya plays a part in creation. We'll see more about Ahankara, Samsara, and Avidya and all those things later on. अस्तु तस्ते प्रजाभ्यः प्रतिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृतिस्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि